Hey everybody. Look, we're about 1 week away from the election, the most important election probably of all of our lifetimes. This is probably going to be the last election, and I'm like totally being serious. If Kamala Harris wins the election, we're gonna have North Korea style elections are gonna be fake. She was never really voted on. She was pretty much installed after Biden dropped out. Basically, she didn't really want a primary. She would have lost if she had a primary, and she was thrown in at the last minute, and her campaign has been a total disaster. So, I mean, if it was a straight up normal election, she definitely wouldn't win it. But the federal judge on Friday announced that illegal immigrants in Virginia, non-citizens, can basically vote in the election coming up, and that means that there's going to be millions of illegal votes in this election. In order to stop that, every single Republican has to come out and vote. They have to. We have to win this. It isn't by no means a guaranteed win because they're always doing an election. I know in Pennsylvania they found like 2,500 ballots that were completely fake. If we caught that, imagine what we're not catching. I know in what was it, Seattle, Washington, something like that. Portland, or something. Yeah. Anyways, somewhere in Seattle, I know the ballots are being destroyed. Like someone going to these ballot boxes and like throwing bombs in them and blowing them up, catching them on fire, destroying the ballots, destroying the election. So I mean, like all sides are blaming each other, but it doesn't matter. Like I told you before, it doesn't matter if you're voting for Kamala Harris or if you're voting for Donald Trump, because this election is going to be stolen in some way. Even if Trump wins by a miracle, he somehow wins, this election would not be a fair election. It would still be a stolen election regardless. But in order to stop the steal, you have to go out there and vote. You have to. It's one of your most patriotic duties of all time. You have to come out and vote. And if you do vote, hopefully you're going to vote for Donald Trump and not Kamala Harris, because Kamala Harris is just a disaster on every single level. If you vote for her, we're going to be in World War III 100% guaranteed. I mean, you always see what's happening under Biden. The inflation, the wars, all that kind of stuff, it's all bad. But Kamala Harris, what's sad is Joe Biden has dementia, so there's an excuse for why he can't speak. But Kamala Harris, there's nothing wrong with her, and yet she can't even speak words, all word salads and talking in circles. I know I do that, but I'm not running for office. Kamala Harris is, and she's been a disaster. She don't even have campaign policies. All she's saying is an opportunity economy, whatever that means. I don't think anybody knows what opportunity economy is. Like, if you know what that is, explain to me, and all someone's going to get is like, oh yeah, well, it's when everyone has a fair say. Here's the reality of life. Not everyone's going to start off the same place. I mean, that's just the reality of most of situations. But where you start off isn't necessarily where you end your story. And that's really the story of America. It always has been. What makes this country great, what makes this country amazing, is the opportunities that we have to build something, to actually plant a seed whose seeds we would never basically sit under. It's all about planting that seed, planting a seed for the future. And that's really what I think like most people fail to understand about like capitalism and all that kind of stuff, and what makes capitalism great. Capitalism isn't about today. That's what socialism is. Socialism's about taking as much as you can today. Capitalism is literally about the future. It's about people who will exist before you. Think about all the stuff that we have. All that had to come from somewhere else. Like people had to create, like cell phones. People had to create a cell phone. It didn't just one day appear out of nowhere. No, it took a lot of people to actually build the phone, then build the cell phones, and all that kind of stuff. And now everyone has a cell phone. Again, it's about basically opportunities and creating something for a future that you may never see. That is what it's all about. And we cannot have that under Kamala Harris. We cannot. She will destroy this country completely because she will use up all the resources that we have now, and there'll be nothing left for the future generations. And everything will be in rebel. Everything will be sucky. Everyone will be angry. Donald Trump is going to build a future for tomorrow, which means that basically he may not live to see everything that is going to take place, what his policies will take place. But in the future, if he wins, our country will be better for it. Our money will be way more worth it. Like, gas will be cheap, food will be cheap, everything will be cheap under Trump, like it was back a couple years ago. You remember a couple years ago how cheap everything was? I could tell you how cheap everything was. I was literally being able to pay for gas, go to the grocery store, movies, wherever I wanted, still had money in my pocket afterwards. Nowadays, after paying bills, car notes, all that kind of stuff, all the same stuff that I had back then too, mind you, I don't have anything left. It was like I make more money, yeah, with my current job, but because of how bad the economy got, because when I first started my job at Walmart being a cart pusher, I was like making a killing. Like I couldn't believe how much money I was actually making. Nowadays, with the price of everything going up, it's like I'm making crap again. If we get Donald Trump back, I know 100% that my money will go farther, my dollar will go way farther than it will under Kamala Harris administration, because Kamala Harris will basically continue Joe Biden's awful policies, and we don't want that. Nobody wants that. So basically my message to you is go out and vote. You need to vote. It's that important. This will be the last election. If you do not vote, we have no more democracy. We have no more constitutional republic. It's gone. We'll have North Korea style elections if Kamala Harris wins. We cannot allow that. Donald Trump must win at all costs. Please go out and vote. Vote Donald Trump.